Hello, this is Lewis with a video describing how to use the PredictWind DataHub connected to a Wakespeed regulator via CAN and the Wakespeed app, configuration app, to program a configuration into these regulators over CAN. So normally when you use the Wakespeed app, you would have to be either USB connected to the regulator if you've got a WS500, or you would have to be Bluetooth connected via BLE if you happen to have a Pro. In either case, you need to be very close to the regulator because Bluetooth has a very short range and so does USB. But if you've got a data hub and your CAN connected to the regulator on an N2K NMEA 2000 network or other CAN network, then you can be quite a ways away remotely to do this. Actually, you can be in another state and do this over the internet if you wanted to. So let me go ahead and show you how to do that. It's not very hard, and it's a super function. All right, so here I have a data hub, and I'm going to log into it. In a previous video, I demonstrated how to configure the PredictWind DataHub to communicate with the Wakespeed over CAN, and I did a little tutorial on that. And so we've got a Wakespeed app. We've got the Wakespeed app. We're connected to a Wakespeed via CAN, and we're currently communicating with it. And if I go to the AST tab, as I described previously, we see that we've got status information coming from that regulator. All right. So now, how to use the Wakespeed app to configure the regulator and program it remotely over a CAN is what I'll do next. So the first thing we need to do is we need to go to the app store. In this case, I'm on an Apple. I'm on a Mac. I'm on a on a fairly new Mac, and so I can run iOS apps on this Mac. And so if I go to the App Store and I search for Wakespeed, I see the Wakespeed configuration utility, and then I can go ahead and download it. And so I've already done that, so I'm just going to go ahead and open it. And it's now running. So here's a configuration utility. It's a pretty straightforward and simple thing to do. There's tabs. You go in here and tell it what kind of alternator you've got, 12 volts, battery systems. You just select from the list. In this case, I'm going to do a Battleborn, and you can select a specific battery type. I'll just select this one, and you can tell it the number of batteries that you have. I say I have 4. And you can then save the configuration. So it's a pretty straightforward wizard. There are other tabs in here that you can use to set other parameters. I'm not going to go ahead and do that since that's well documented at Dragonfly. But I do want to show you how to take this configuration, which we've just created for Battleborn batteries, and program them into the Wakespeed regulator over the CAN bus. Now, what we need to do here is we need to, after we save the configuration, we need to hit the little home icon there and go down to settings and enable expert mode. Now, if you do that, that will go ahead and it will enable a whole slew of features that you didn't have before in your configuration, and they all show up as pink. But I'm not going to focus on that right now. The reason I went into advanced mode here is so that I could go to this 3 little dots here on the right hand corner and select select, let's see, where is that, a share configuration. So let's see, let me just go ahead and, I guess I need to save the configuration again, so let me just go ahead and do that. Oh, I see, I've got to select the battery. So Battleborn, select the battery, select the number of batteries. So I guess you need to do that before you enable expert mode or you lose your changes. All right, so we've made our changes now. We come here and we'll notice that we have a share configuration. So I can click on the share configuration, and that pops up a little window, and I can say copy, and that's going to copy the configuration into the clipboard. Now I can bring up text edit, which is basically a Mac app, and I can say new document, and I can bring that over here and say paste. And you notice there's 2 things here. The one I'm interested in is the one that's got text, and if I double click on that, I get a little pop-up window, and I see here's my Wakespeed program. So this is the program that is output from the wizard. So let me just go ahead and do that one more time since I went through it pretty quickly. I'm going to close all this up. So we come to the home icon here. We go to settings. We enable expert mode, and we hit the update button. Okay. Then we go back to the home button. We go to configuration. We then configure our battery. In this case, a Battleborn. I select the battery type. I set the number of batteries that I have, and any other configuration changes that you want. You hit save configuration. All right. Then you come to this little icon on the top right hand corner. You hit share. You hit copy. You then bring up text edit. And you paste in the clipboard, and then you double click on the text that shows up here in the left hand icon. And there's my program right there. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and send this to the Wakespeed. So I'm going to select it, and I'm going to copy it into the clipboard. So I've copied the text into the clipboard. I can then come back in here to the Wakespeed app. I go to import export. I then come here to the import form, and I select import WS500 formatted program. I just paste that in there. So there's the program that was in the clipboard. And then I say import. At this point, basically that program has been imported into the DataHub, and I can go ahead and make any other changes that I want. Again, we went over this user interface in the last video, but suffice it to say that we now have this here, and we can make modifications to it if we wish. We can go to Tools, and we hit the Program button. And here's my program again, and then I can hit Commit. And at this point, the program is now being formatted, and now it's being transferred to the regulator as indicated in the status window. And so we go ahead and send the different commands. So we're sending SCN right now, SCA is next, SCT, CNG, etc. Once all the commands have been sent to the regulator will then reboot itself and will be running the new program. So CPO, CPP, almost done. CPE, CPB, SCO, and now we're restarting the regulator. So the regulator is being rebooted, it's now coming back to life, and the regulator is now running again. And if we go to the AST tab, we'll see that we now have updated information coming from the regulator. It just rebooted, it's in configuration mode, and that's all there's to it. So I hope you find this video useful, and until next time, this is Lewis.